You seem to have forgotten that I am a woman.
Okay then, well let's step it up a notch then.
Sometimes I get loud. All right. We Gucci. We in this house. What up, hoes? How we doing? We're back. Another week. COVID did not kill anybody in this room. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
We had a little scare. And I missed Christmas. So I cried, obviously, a lot this week, but it's fine. And I missed my cousin's wedding, but it's okay. We still drove down to Jersey and, like, sat in front of the church so I could kind of be a part of it.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, dude. This is like my brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're that close?
Yeah.
You're Armenian, right?
Yeah.
So the cousins are very close?
Yeah, and this is like my closest cousin in age, and like we've done everything together since like we've both individually moved, like as we grew up. So like through college, through like everything, like
Oh,
so.
you must have cried outside.
I was super bummed. I was super bummed. Yeah.
Fucking COVID canceled Christmas.
Yeah, it was shitty, but it's okay. We got through it, and I did a lot of art because of it. So the silver lining. And then I was cleared to be not contagious, close enough to be able to go to Derek's show. So that was cool. And it was a great show.
Yeah. I was happy it happened. I mean, because...
By the way, everyone, Derek Drescher.
How you doing?
Welcome to Haus Haux.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know. I was happy to do the show. It was just only 19 people came. It was a sold-out show, but out of the 45 that bought tickets, only 19 showed up. And I don't know. I was just happy to still do the show because so many people have lost money because of this, businesses, and then so many artists have not been able to do their art.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck this. Until they say we're shutting shit down, which they're not going to.
Yeah.
Now we know. I was like, we're gonna keep rocking.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And you're a stand-up comic. How long have you been doing comedy? How long have you been doing comedy for?
Only 3 years, a little over 3 years.
No way.
Yeah, that's it.
2019?
Yeah. I started writing in 18 and started getting up on stage.
Wow. Okay, we're going to get to a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I know Derek because you do a podcast here at Too Much Content with Gio Perez on the Gate podcast, and it's hilarious. I always sit in as Irish is recording you guys, and it's fantastic. I like belly laugh every single time. So you definitely need to check out that podcast. And you have a couple other things going too, but you have several shows that you do like around the city, and this was the first time we were able to come. So it was great. And that's, dude, you've only been doing comedy 3 years?
Yeah,
What?
a little over 3.
Wow.
I think maybe November 2018. I gotta look.
I did my
gotta
first open mic in May of 2019. So that's so wild that if I just kept going.
I mean, I hit it hard. Sometimes 4 or 5 mics a day, if possible.
Yeah.
I used to get into I would write them down also. I'd write them down the amount of time I did and how I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Are you a numbers guy?
I just go up a lot, as much as I can. You know what I mean?
How did you do comedy during like the shutdown? Did you?
Zoom.
You did Zoom comedy.
I did Zoom comedy. My first paid spot.
I'm sorry, but
I know. My first paid spot was on a Zoom show.
wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's wild.
Yep.
How from when you started comedy to when you first got paid, how long were you doing comedy for?
Oh, 2 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 2 years before I got paid.
This is so wild to me. Okay.
Now I'm getting paid all the time.
What brought you to comedy?
I always, even when I was a child, and I'm going back as young as like 5, 6 years old. Like I don't know, stand up was just something that I was watched in my house. You know, back then.
That's
It was
cool.
like, my father was a Bill Cosby guy.
Oh, that's hey, dude, I used to watch.
So Bill Cosby had a great
Yeah.
1 hour, and then New York HBO would have they would have the comedy
Huxtable.
half hours like Bob Nelson, Ellen DeGeneres, Sinbad,
Yeah.
people like that, and then Def Comedy Jam came along, and that was like I remember. I believe it came on at midnights on Friday.
Oh, that's cool.
I believe,
I wasn't allowed to be up. At
and
that
then
hour.
I would watch that, and this Martin Lawrence hosting, and everybody who's great like came across that stage.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker, Dave Chappelle, Martin hosted, D.L. Hughley used to host, Bernie Mac. I mean, that's
Hilarious
what really
people.
sucked me into comedy.
Yeah.
And so I always loved it and always respected. I didn't even know it was art at that time.
Yeah.
But I respected what I loved laughing, and I loved laughing at things that are supposed to be bad that you're not supposed to laugh at.
Me too.
Yeah.
I always would get in trouble because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I grew up in like a kind of conservative Armenian like household, so doing comedy or like anything that was like raunchy it would have been a no.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like the case.
No, my mom my mom loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father. Somehow my father doesn't love it. My father is just a little, and he's like a blue collar guy, but he's like, oh, what's the context of that? I'm like, shut up, dude. You fucking drove a bus, all right? Growing up. Well, I was growing. We didn't have food sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
But my mom, she's totally into it.
So you like grew up with comedy, always liked it, and how old were you when you started though?
I was like 36, 37.
30. So
I'm 40 now.
So what took you so long?
Well, I didn't get my life straight till I was 33.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I just made the decision to get clean off of drugs and try to not go back to jail anymore. Because basically from the time I was 13 until I was 33 it was just a mishmash of, jails and drug rehabs and homeless shelters. I was in the Army for 11 months. I got kicked out.
Shit.
Yeah, it was all just institutions.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like through that, I mean, okay, that's a lot. I'm gonna stop
digest?
right there.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm not gonna just breeze right by that.
Yeah.
From 13 to 33.
Yeah.
That's 20 years
21 years of my life. Yep.
in and out of different institutions, and you get out at what 33, and
So
you
33,
have an
I'm still
epiphany?
in an institution, actually. Yeah. So I was in this, what they call a TC, therapeutic community. And this is about, a little over 7 years ago.
Mhm.
And they don't run TCs like this anymore. A lot has changed the last few years.
Were you in New York?
It was in New York. I was on in a program on 43rd Street in between 8th and 9th, ran by Samaritan Village. It was a very pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of program. Where like, you got there, you could be like, oh, I'm so happy to be here. And they'd be like, shut up. Nobody wants you. You're horrible. Like your children, you can't see your kids. They would just let you know how bad you fucked up. They would like really build you down and then tear you up.
Yeah.
But I was walking down 8th Avenue one day because you have to earn privileges. Like you don't just leave. The first phase, they have 4 phases. Phase 1, like you're on lockdown. No phone, no internet.
When you get out of an like.
No, this is why you're in the institution.
Yeah. Okay.
And this was also like a diversion to jail for me through court.
Okay.
So I remember when I finally got some freedom, I had to like escort one of the other clients to the doctor or something. And I was walking down 8th Avenue. And I was just like, yo, I had a Sean John velour suit on. I was like, what?
Like so.
Yeah. Very bad. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you wearing? And I was just looking around at everybody and how much time, like the world is just passing me by. And I'm like, shit, dude, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the day.
That was the day you started comedy?
No, that was
the
the
day
where I was like, I need to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do with my life. Like blank slate. I have no idea. I have no skills, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
But you knew you had to like pick a lane.
I had to figure something out. Yeah.
Okay. So you're 33, you're escorting this person, you have this epiphany, and the next day, what's the first thing that you do?
I'm like, I'm just gonna group and be honest as much as I can in the groups to like not to make sure I don't go back to drugs.
Okay.
So I started doing
Talk
that.
close to the mic. Sorry.
We would group like 5 times a day in this program, and you get out of it what you put in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not gonna lie about anything. I'm gonna talk about all the bad things I've ever done, like, and I'm getting all this baggage off of me,
Mm-hmm.
and I just started doing that. And I was in that place for 18 months.
Shit.
And I left there, and just everything I did there prepared me for the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like everything.
You got your reps in.
I got my reps in.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did. And they do things inside the TC, inside the therapeutic community to prepare you for life and for the outside. Because the thing is that life isn't always going to go how you want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
And like things are going to get taken from you and you're going to have no say about it. So a lot of times in the TC, they'd be like, oh, guess what? Everybody's losing their privileges. Nobody's going on pass this weekend.
Yeah.
Just for no reason, just to do it. And if you can't handle that, chances are you're not going to stay clean. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just that just helped you come to grip with life on life's terms. You can't control life, but you can control how you react and how you respond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You just kind of like, not triggered is a strong word, but you just like sparked a memory that in my mind where I had a friend who was an addict, and it is recovering. I don't know what the terminology is, but he's clean now, supposedly. And I went to, what's it called? What's it called?
NA? Oh, Al-Anon?
Al-Anon.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what the fuck to do, like anymore. Like, how much can you be there for a person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that, I could go as many times as I want. That didn't do anything until I moved to a different state.
Really?
And, like, was forced to take away that friendship. But, like, I didn't realize that I was going to go through the same, like, grieving.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so, it's weird to think about it on both ends.
I used to get so mad at the Al-Anon meetings because, like, sometimes when you're in rehab or, like, sometimes even when you're in jail, if you're there for drugs and your family comes to visit you, they'll have them go to an Al-Anon meeting first before they see you. And then they just, like, they fucking hate you when they see you. I'm like,
you
come
gotta
on,
want to go
man.
to that shit, Like, it's...
They're like, they said by us coming to, we're enabling you. I'm like, oh, gee, I just wanted to spend some time with you.
Yeah. No, it wasn't fun. And it's in, like, it's in a church, and that's just not where I wanted to, like...
I know. Most meetings are in churches.
Yeah.
Churches are community centers.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That was difficult.
But my life was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally, nobody really wanted me. Like, my mother was never an enabler, but I like, she was disgusted with me.
Yeah.
By, like, how bad my drug use had gotten. My daughter's mother didn't want to be near me. She didn't want me near my daughter. Like, any friends I had that were not involved with drugs were like, yeah, no, this is, and I still haven't gotten some of those friends back, but that's just how life goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you wish you got those friends back?
At this point, I'm good. I'm good with I have come to grips with everything I've done wrong. I've owned it, admitted to it. I've did all the time, that I, like, whether it was jail or just, like, the time to work on it and forgive myself for it, like, it's done. I can't sit back and let things, like, what I used to do hold me back anymore.
Yeah.
Because it'll creep into who I am today, and then...
You can honor your past as long as it doesn't, like, affect your future kind of growth and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, you just decide to go heavy into these groups and do whatever you can. And what was the moment that... Was comedy the thing that, like, brought, like, started your art? Like, how did you feel like you got back on a better path?
So, a lot of nights, like, once I was allowed to have a phone in the TC, like, YouTube, I would watch a lot of, comedy clips, like old Chappelle Show clips.
Yeah.
I really loved Chappelle Show. Big Dave Chappelle fan. Like those are the things that help me pass the time. And then, once I moved into a place and I got a TV and I got Netflix, and I just was like, a lot of these things were weird for me, just so everybody knows. Like, a lot of technology passed me by.
What years were you, like, in and out?
I was in and out since 1994 until 2014.
So typing is interesting.
Yeah. Emails,
Yeah.
Apple phones,
Yeah.
all that shit. All that shit. I didn't
All right.
understand none of this. It was all new to me.
You're killing Instagram if that's the case.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it out. Instagram was the easiest one to figure out. But then I just I remember I was looking through Netflix and then I saw like the stand-up comedy thing and I clicked on it and I was like, oh, and it was just, all these hour-long specials.
Yep.
I felt like a king.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look at all this comedy I get to watch. And then I met some friends. This is like, I'm like 3 years sober now. And they lived actually over here. And I was, like, oh, you want to come have brunch with us and a picnic in the park? And I'd never done shit like this before. But I was like, cool, yeah, I'll come have a picnic
I'm
with
a
you.
picnic guy now.
Yeah. And I was talking to these people. And then I got asked to be on a podcast.
Ooh.
And I didn't, I kind of heard of what they were. I didn't understand what they were completely, though.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll do the podcast. And I do the podcast. So just this podcast, this was the run of their last four, their four, what do they call it when you have
Like a
me on?
series?
No, you're like, I'm your guest today. So their
Oh,
guests,
yeah.
it was like Ari Shaffir, Andrew Schultz, me, and Nikki Glazer. Yeah. Weird, right? Isn't that weird?
Wait, whose podcast?
This
was
is Girls Gotta Eat, my friend Ashley's
it?
podcast.
No way, dude.
Yeah. So I didn't realize how big of a deal it was.
That's interesting.
And-
Okay.
And then we recorded at the Fan, WFAN,
Mm-hmm.
and I just had a really good time. And I was talking about my life
Mhm.
and all that stuff. And,
How'd you meet them?
she was friends with my friend, and then we all became
At the
friends.
picnic?
Yeah, at the picnic. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
So yeah, I go on. I had a good time. And she, she does stand up, and she was like, "Hey, come to my show." So I went to the show, and I was like, "I love stand up comedy." And I had never seen live stand up comedy yet at that point. And then I realized, I'm like, I'm in New York. Like, the best comedians in the world are here. And then I just started going to more shows, and I would go by myself. I'd go like 11 o'clock at night, and I'd started to write then. And I was like, I think I could do this. And then I just threw myself into it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it was like, podcasting came first, and then comedy for you, like in your.
Yeah,
sort
I
of
did their
development
podcast.
of
I had no
art.
idea what I was doing. I had 500 followers on Instagram. I wake up the morning the podcast came out, and I had like 1,500. And I freaked out, and I made my account private.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's whatevs. I didn't know what the fuck.
Interesting, dude.
It just scared me.
Yeah.
It scared me. It
Yeah,
made me
yeah.
nervous. Yeah, I made my account private.
I mean, if
Stupid move.
If your intention wasn't to like, go on and do that, and you're just being chill, I could see how that could freak so like.
Yeah, I
someone
didn't
out.
understand how big it was.
Wow,
the podcast,
that's
and it
so
and
funny.
and they've grown it. Her and Rain have grown it even bigger now. I
Yeah.
mean, they fucking sell out theaters, not just in America, in like other countries,
That's crazy.
like New Zealand and fucking Australia and shit.
Wow.
It's wild, right?
It is wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like how much you can do with a podcast. You know what I mean? And we talk about this obviously all the time because people want to start podcasts all the time, but they don't know what to talk about. And I find that funny because it's like, then why would you want to start a podcast? Like, to us, it's like, what are you passionate about? Like, what can you talk nonstop about? Like,
Yeah.
what is like the thing that makes you you? You know what I mean? And it's like a platform for that, And if you don't know who you are, well, you could start talking.
Yeah.
But like, if you don't know what you're talking about, it'll develop into something. But you know what I mean? Like, you could do so much with it. Like,
I still get messages from that podcast.
wow.
I got my first bad one the other day.
Really?
Yeah, this woman sent me a message and she goes, "Heard your podcast. Heard your episode with, on GGE the other day. Happy for you, but you sound arrogant as fuck. It's a good thing you don't date." I was like, "Whoa." First bad one I've ever got.
Oh
This
my
is out
God.
of thousands of messages from people who have listened to it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love it when people don't understand context either.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I was being arrogant, but maybe I need to go back and listen to it.
Or maybe
again.
she's just having a bad day.
She probably wanted me to engage her.
Yeah.
I did not.
That's hysterical. Oh my God. So I mean, you do a lot of things. Like you do podcasting, obviously you do comedy. You're also an actor, right?
I have acted before.
You have
and
acted
I've done some
before.
writing.
You do some writing.
Yep.
And you are also part of a community. Can we talk about your like
Comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk about? I was just creeping on that
Community
website too.
of ex-cons.
You're right in the About Me page. Nice pick. But I thought that's. Can you talk about it a little bit, because I think that's such a cool concept, and you guys have done so much with it too.
So Conbody is it's a boutique fitness studio that only hires ex-cons and is run by an ex-con also. This the founder and CEO, Cas Marte. He did 7 years. He's convicted of drug dealing, and he hires everybody except for sex offenders. So
Fair.
yeah. So
Yeah.
because that's bad for business.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have people who've been convicted of murder, bank robbers, drug dealers, people who've been convicted of manslaughter. But the thing is that it's all people who want to change their lives.
Yeah.
Yep. Cas is done. He hires everybody, gay, straight, like it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good way to keep yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Ooh, what was happening? Oh, okay.
So, I mean, Conbody really helped change my life too, man. Like, I just had a place to go where I didn't have to like pretend about anything.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who come, they're like they want to work out with the big bad ex-cons, but the mission of Conbody that Cas came up with was to break the stigma of people who have been incarcerated, of ex-cons, formerly incarcerated individuals or justice involved, is a politically correct term, which I can't stand, but yeah, that's the thing. The show's like we're not all big bad people, Like a lot of stuff that happens is situational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how long have you been working there?
Oh, I've been there about 5 years now.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
Yep, 5 years.
And you guys have like online classes and stuff.
We do
too.
online. We have like classes that are videos by us that you could check out, and then you could actually take class with us live through the Zoom online,
That's awesome.
and then you could come in person.
So no excuses. So okay, so you found a way now in your life here that's like you have to keep yourself accountable for your health because that's part of your job, and I imagine that helps like your mental too.
Yeah, because my first few years clean too, I also like ran 4 marathons
Wow.
and 3 ultra marathons.
That's not a fucking joke, dude.
Yeah, I was training constantly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The ultra marathons.
Yeah.
You're one of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't in a while. I believe the last in-person race I ran was the New York City Ultra in 2019.
Wow.
Maybe. Yeah.
Wow. So right before COVID.
November. Yep, that November.
Oh, shit.
Yep. I believe so. Yeah, 19.
What is that like?
So 20 miles. So that race was 37.2 miles. But 20 miles into that race, I just started walking. And I had friends with me. They were like my pacing team.
Anyway, like I was saying, I had a lot of company.
Pacing team. They're like, "What's up? What's the matter?" And
Quiet, he's gonna say something.
I was like, "I don't want to run anymore."
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
And I remember my one friend, Marielle, she was like, "Why?"
Now what are we supposed to do?
Because the last time I ran that race, she was like, "You didn't stop once." I didn't stop once. 37.2 miles. When I would get my water, I would keep moving, take it, throw the cup. She was like, "Why don't you want to?" And I was like, "You know what? Like I was just at a different time in my life then."
My mom always said, you got to put the past behind you before you can move on. And I think that's what my running was all about.
Like, I didn't know if I was going to have money for groceries. And I still had so much anger in me from being newly sober. And I was like, I just don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
And I walked the next 17.2 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it a nice walk?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I'm like, damn, I kind of want to run, but fuck that. I was like, I'm already, just to
You
get
could
done
do
quicker.
a 5K.
Now I could, yeah.
Yeah. I've been really. This is another accountability thing, dude. Like, I'm really bad about this. I don't know what has gotten into me since. I don't know if it's since the pandemic has begun or since I moved to New York, but like, I tried running. And I was consistent about it for a couple months, and then I fucking fell off about it, and then I started again, and I felt good, and I was doing it, and then I fell off again, and like, I just don't want to go to the gym yet because of all the fucking outbreaks and
Yeah.
shit, and like, there's no excuse. I could do it in my living room, but like, I want to run, but I can't get myself outside.
Do
Why?
3 days a week.
Yeah.
How many miles do you run when you usually run?
I usually run. I was gonna say the landmark, but that would dox me. Like 2.
I know. I don't want to.
2
I doxed
miles
you once before.
ish.
We don't want to. That's good.
Yeah.
Do that 3 times a week. Start there.
Okay. I'm gonna. Can you be my accountability buddy?
Yeah. Get on Strava.
What's Strava?
Strava is a running app. I'll send it to you. I'll send
Okay.
you the app.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's good.
Dope. Cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's dope. I don't remember where I got. Oh, because you're doing the marathons and shit. That's
Yeah. So
what a feeling.
I trained 14 people for the marathon last year. Yeah.
My-
And they all completed.
Wow.
Everybody who started finished.
Wow.
I had a couple people PR. It's a good feeling. A lot of people can't give other people directions without them getting hurt. I got 14 people through. I got 14 people through a marathon.
That's.
I mean, they took all the steps themselves, but
awesome.
as a trainer, that is a very good feeling
That's incredible.
because it was my plan. I create the plan,
And every body is an experiment, I would imagine.
So yeah, that's what I try to do. Try to create a plan to where it's like it's not going to be too much of a load for anybody, and you're going to get the miles you need to go out there on race day and perform.
Yeah.
And it's not going to cause that much wear and tear.
Huh.
And it'll help you lose some weight too. So
Yeah. Well, it's good for anything. Like your core, I know this is a dumb thing, but I just learned this where if you strengthen your core and it will help your spine and help your back and any back pain.
If you have a strong core, it'll help you with everything.
And I also learned
You
that
hold planks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also learned that the muscles around your spine can potentially be like if you've worked them out.
Your
and
spinal
you're strong-
erectors?
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
With those your spine. So if you work out a lot and then your spinal erectors become very strong and then you stop working out, that muscle is still heavy and then that weighs on your spine. Just learned that too.
Yep.
Did you people know that? I
crazy.
bet you didn't. I just taught you something.
Spinal erectors look good when you have them, like when you do your pull-ups in
Yeah.
front of the chicks with your shirt off.
I'm so bad at pull-ups. I have a very strong lower body,
Uh-huh.
but and I can lift things, but I obviously lift things with my legs.
Yeah.
My arms are just not.
So the thing is, your pull-ups is actually all back. It's all back.
You're the first person to tell me that.
Yep. That's you're pulling through with your back, your lats.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
So what you should do is get up on the bar, like pull a chair up to the bar and start here,
yeah.
and then do a negative. Count backwards from 10,
Huh.
and then go. It's just as good as a regular one, and you do those until you can get one within a few weeks. You'll be able to do a real pull-up.
I feel stronger already, dude.
Yeah. There's different ways. Underhand is easier. This way is always going to be harder, but this way is easier to start.
Yeah.
But you hit different other parts too a little bit. Sometimes you hit your chest a little bit, but it's all back.
Yeah.
It's all back.
Someone also once told me that when you're doing push-ups, you have to mentally focus on those muscles.
Yeah, mind-muscle connection they call it. Yeah.
That's just a high thought.
Yeah.
I always remembered that every time I work out now.
I just taught a class before I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I can't wait for this shit to be over.
Yeah. And then I bring you here and talk more
No,
about
no.
exercise.
I mean, the thing is, I feel like nobody should have to work this week.
Yeah, you're right, dude.
Everybody should just be off.
Yeah.
To just do whatever the fuck they want.
And enjoy their time and talking to a microphone if
Yep.
they want.
Only people at restaurants should have to work right now.
Yeah. You sign up for that. You know, when you sign up for that job, they're going to ask you to work during this time of
This
year.
is your busy time. This is where you make that bread.
Yeah. You make that monies.
But yeah, there's been a lot of things
Yeah.
that I did that helped me get to where I'm at. And then once I hurt my knee, I really couldn't run anymore. That was like right around the time where I was really like, I think I could do comedy. And yeah, I just threw myself in.
Yeah.
Did it wrong the first year. I was doing like only a few mics a week, and then I would do like a bringer, and then I realized, there's this whole. So I was like, I want to get up more, and then I realized, there's this whole structure of open mics and things to
Yeah.
do. And then during the quarantine,
It costs
I did.
money here.
It does cost money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
It's New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like where I started in Boston, what didn't cost money to do open mics.
Really?
So you could just do a bunch in one night and you're fine. That's a blessing for those who are listening right now who don't have to pay to
The
go
thing-
to open mics. You have no excuse not to get your
You want
reps
to try
in.
to at least support the venue a little
Yeah.
bit. A little bit. You know?
Yeah, of course. But okay,
All right.
so you keep it on
Hey.
track. So we were talking at the beginning of this podcast before we started about like accountability and how this has sort of been the theme of my podcast, and I always get towards the end and it's kind of like a report that I have to give everybody of what I've done. And you were saying that this was something that you needed.
Right.
Do you mean like for your comedy specifically?
Comedy,
but you
yeah.
do a lot of stuff. So I mean,
I need to write more. I need to I got a couple like long bits I'm playing with right now. I haven't written them all out though. Like I know them, but yeah, I need to write more. I need to do more rewrites. Writing is like I get up enough, like I workshop enough. I try enough new stuff while I'm up there, but I need to just write more.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I lost all my joke books. I had 3 joke books, so I lost them.
Oh no.
I mean, I know everything that's in them, and
That
I'm not.
sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, and I bought new notebooks, and I just can't do it. Like I start writing in them, and so it's something I have to get over. I don't know what the problem is.
Maybe try doing it on your phone.
I do it. I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
it's
you
like-
never lose it.
It's like not.
I know it's not the same.
There's
I have
something
an
more
agenda.
intimate about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it goes from brain to hand to.
Yeah. I
To paper.
absolutely get that.
That sounds so fruity, but
No, actually, that's a perfect segue. I was like, I might talk about this on the podcast today, but only if there's a perfect segue, and you just perfect segued for me. Hold on. So, speaking of fruity, this whole time I've been doing this podcast, I've also been working on a project that I've only been talking like little tidbits of on the podcast. And then and I say I'm going to do more updates, and then I never do, but I tell the guest all the time, and then it goes absolutely fucking nowhere. But I have been creating this coloring book that's sort of like a journey. There's a little mental health notes and like artist notes in there. And I wanted to show the first page of it because I also made it into a candle, which is going to be available after this episode comes out.
you're gonna sell it?
Yes.
Oh, fire! Where's it gonna be? Amazon?
It's going to be, so I'm going to sell this this coloring book on Amazon when it's done. And it's almost done. Hold on. I'm going to do this first.
What's it? It says there are no bad trips.
There are no bad trips, just difficult ones. There are no bad trips, just difficult ones.
I like
will
that.
edit this part. Ba ba ba. And it's also going to be in candle formation. This is the first of many candles of the candle club that I'm now going to have called the LITTY Committee. So guys, look out for that.
Great name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have not been accountable for sharing these things. I just keep talking about them. I've been saying it's 12 pages, and it's still 12 pages, and I'm almost done with all of them. So, fuck yeah.
I'll buy your coloring book.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll buy one.
The
and I'll do it.
the reason why I even brought it up was because you said putting something pen to paper.
Right.
And thinking about like intentionally of what you're writing.
I mean, if you think about it, it's such a it's a spiritual thing because it's starting here,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's going from here all the way down
Yep.
to your hand, and then to the instrument, and then to the paper.
And then when you say it out loud, you gotta make sure it doesn't sound stupid.
Yeah.
And
then you gotta, yep.
and there's something about like writing it over and over again and thinking about it in your head, which is like part of what this is about. Like each page is something that I want the person who's coloring in to like think about over and over in their head. Like this is something that we say all the time to each other. Like there are no bad trips, just difficult ones, because you can really get over anything.
Absolutely.
And at the start of any journey, something like we also talk about a lot, like, you were mentioning it a lot too, like the top of the level that you're on is the bottom of the next one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you hurt your knee, but then you started comedy, so it's interesting to like see how things develop.
So, yeah. It just happened.
So you're going to keep writing.
I'm gonna make sure I set the time aside. I become my mind gets the most stimulated when I'm moving. So, I have an idea for like I'm gonna start taking some walks and keep my notepad on me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about things, I will sit and write them down as they come. Or if I'm on a bike ride, I'll just make sure I keep my notepad with me everywhere I go. Which is like me becoming super artsy, but whatevs.
I do that. I do that. But that's fine though. Everybody has their version of that.
I mean, it's only going to make me better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've achieved. I've done a lot of the things I wanted, or that I like dreamt about, have happened. And
that's amazing.
And it's I've barely scratched the surface, and I have so much more work to do. And it's not like I'm going out there killing every night. I fucking eat it sometimes bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just get better by keeping on going, like keep going by keeping going up. Like no matter if I have a bad set, it's not going to stop me from going up again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to want to get up like ASAP. Fucking cancel that bomb out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's giving me some inspiration. Another reason why I had started this podcast was just to get like back used to
holding a microphone.
Holding a microphone. Seriously. Like it's so weird. Like since the pandemic, I hadn't had to actually hold a microphone outside a podcast. Until this past October, where my best friend got married. I was the maid of honor, so I had to give a speech in front of like 200 people and not bomb. And like, what an experience. I missed doing it.
Did you tell jokes?
I like tried to be a little funny, but like, the people who got it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to like, do a whole 3 minutes.
Every time I've seen stand-ups like speaking at one of their friends' weddings, a lot of times they're like doing a set.
No, I didn't want to do that. Especially like the first time getting back in front of like live people like that. Fuck no, dude.
Yeah, I ended up doing public speaking like at like I think I had like 2 years clean, and I spoke in front of like 800 people.
Wow. That's
for the organization that the nonprofit that I work for now.
Shit.
Yeah, I helped raise a lot of money. I was like, damn.
That's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
And you get through that, and you're like, oh, cake.
I started a joke with that. On that, the joke was corny. I got up there. I was like, please. If somebody sees Kanye West, please say something. I don't have, I have so much because it was like right around the time like he did that shit with.
Oh yeah, with Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Yeah. I can't
funny.
be interrupted.
That's funny.
Yeah, please report him.
That's really.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That was. Yeah, but I love doing comedy. I love the friends I've made. And it just connects so many different kinds of people. Like, I'm a guy who's been arrested 30-something times in my life, and, I didn't go to college. I'm stable now. and I'm like, you know, a lot of, you know, some of the people that do a lot of people who do comedy come from different walks of life, and we're all like striving for the same thing.
Yeah.
Telling our own stories, you know.
Yeah.
So
I think even comics forget that sometimes. I think in our own community, they're like, "Why isn't this person like me? They're a comic." Like, no, maybe they came from a completely opposite background of you, and their vice is still comedy.
yeah,
I
I had so many issues a lot. I mean, I'm getting better now. To where I'd be like, yo, I don't like him. And Gio would be like, why? I'd be like, I don't like his face. Like this dumb shit like that.
That's him, dude. He
Irish
does
is the
that.
same way.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes if people's face, dude, there was a kid in high school. I won't say his name, but I never.
He remembers it though.
Never shitty to me. Never like anything. Just something about this kid. It was like the scene in Step Brothers. Just something about this kid. Just fucking. I wanted to punch his fucking face.
He made you irate, right?
And he was never rude. He wasn't even like overly nice. There was nothing this kid did.
He had manners.
And you were like, fuck this guy.
I was just like, fuck this kid's dumb face.
We all have those though.
Yeah.
It's fine. Hold on. Let me see. Where are we at? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. What were we just talking about before?
Accountability with your coloring book, and then accountability
Yeah.
with my writing.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And then something else. I don't know. Well, okay. I guess this is where the segment where I'll say what I do now until I fucking remember, because this is my podcast. I'm getting used to doing that now. Like, all right, whatever. This is my podcast.
This is the Haus Haux universe.
Yeah,
you
this
can do
is
whatever you want.
I'm your captain of the LITTY committee, dude. It's so funny. Like, shout out to my very, very wonderful friend Liz, who was my co-captain of the LITTY committee. A couple of years ago, we went to Philly and we just walked around with tank tops that we had made that just said LITTY committee, because like, why would I do that? I don't know. But that's just what I thought was funny at the time, and it still is in my mind.
That's a dope name. The LITTY Committee?
Yeah, so that's going to be the name of my candle club, my monthly candle club that you can subscribe to. I set it all up. I've made the first couple months of candles. So
What's the first one?
the first one is... Well, I said the name was There Are No Bad Trips, Just Difficult Ones. And it's Magnolia and Tonka. That's the
Tonka?
scent. Yes. That's like a bean, like root. Yeah. I can... Here, you want to smell it?
Yeah.
Yeah, live reaction.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a fire, dude. I only make fire.
Very good.
Yeah, well, things that will light on fire, technically. But LITTY committee, dude. Sign up. This episode actually is like the first time I'm talking about it. So this is a Haus Haux exclusive. Thank you for being on the exclusive episode.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. The coloring book will probably be done in January. So look for that shit. I'll post. I did post on my art page that actual sketch, but I will post a better picture like here so you guys can see it for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram. But you should follow me on Instagram, but we'll do your plugs first, Derek.
You can follow me on Instagram at just Derek Drescher, DEREK, DRESCHER. And follow On the Gate Podcast at On the Gate Podcast. Listen to On the Gate Podcast. Follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And then follow 23-in-1 Comedy, and then come to our show at the Stand on January 18th. We got a fire show. It's me, Gio Perez, Onika McLean, Derek Gaines, Leo Cofresi, and Lil Sasquatch.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope
It's gonna
show.
be fire.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but 23-in-1, amazing name, because it's 23 hours of lockdown, 1 hour recreation.
Right.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
So there's layers to this shit.
Yep.
So you need to come out if you're in New York or if you're visiting or whatever. Come out to this show because everybody that he just mentioned is hilarious. And so if you're interested and you follow On the Gate Podcast, that's out of here. Too Much Content.live. Check
Follow
out
Too Much Content.
Follow
live.
us. Check out our website. We just updated it. We're going to keep updating it, and we're growing. Dude, fabulous things are coming in 2022. I'm so hyped. Can't say it. So hyped.
Yeah, you guys are legit, man.
I didn't realize like how much we were doing it, but we're doing it. You know, it's cool to know that that's what we're doing.
And you guys put out you both work really hard.
Thank you.
And you put out like primo fucking content too.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you.
This ain't no rinky dink fucking show over here.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
Definitely follow us.
Yeah.
And make sure to follow my page, Ani_Moush on Instagram, Twitter. My art stuff by _Moush. That's where I'll post my sketches and all this kinds of stuff for my LITTY committee, Candle Club. And I'll put all the links below in the description of this podcast, where you can find tickets to Derek's shows and podcasts and all of my things. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you later, hosts. Peace.